Hey guys, what is up? It is blitzballaking here. Been meaning to make this video for a while. Not really sure how the quality will turn out on my phone, but in a few of my videos I've been talking about a car that I've been working on in my free time. Well, this is it here. It's a 1982 Datsun Sunny Coupe. As you can see, there's not a lot to it at the moment. Although I actually do have all the parts for it. It was a complete car when I bought it. Had a 5-speed running a 1.5 litre A15, slightly bigger diff, 13-inch wheels, front had discs on the front and drums at the rear. Pretty standard stuff for a car of its age, but got a wee bit planned for it. As you can see, it's slowly being built up. I'll start at the front. So the engine bay has been painted. It's an Arctic white colour. It's not very good lighting. You can kind of see, obviously it's a lot nicer than what it looks inside there. But yeah, so I've gone ahead and repainted and refreshed all the stuff. So 22mm sway bar. It's got all new white line bushes to everything. So where we got white line bushes. Yeah, so sway bar's got new bushes, both in the U brackets underneath, as well as the pins. They're kind of hard to see there. As well as that, I've got new control arm bushes and lower control arm bushes. New steering linkages all throughout, new ball joints, steering box has been rebuilt, brake boost has been rebuilt, that's back in now, idler arm bushes, and then if we look down here, so yeah, so there we go, so yeah, new steering linkages. It's kind of hard to see. I'll turn the wheel. But in there you can see it's got an LCA spacer. It's 40mm. I did that because you probably might have noticed it's got adjustable suspension, well the top and bottom. There actually are R31 struts that have been converted to do that. And obviously you got camber adjustment at the top. That's just a little plate I've got to stop it from bolts from digging into the paint. As well as that, you might also, I'll turn that wheel back again. I've actually got Mazda RX-7 Series 4 or 5 4-pot calipers. They've been fully rebuilt. And these are actually 282mm Honda Prelude rotors, which I've adapted with some Datsun Bluebird 910 hubs, new bearings all throughout that, of course. So that's, you can see there's a brake adapter that I've made to, obviously the spacing on the 4-pots are a lot bigger than the original 240mm rotor and brake package that this car had when it came from the factory. So got not much progress. Handbrakes back in. It's all been new sleeves and stuff on it, new cable. Original ignition barrel, keeping the steering wheel. You got the stalks back in. So brakes are all hooked up, although I haven't got any fluid running through them yet. The cables aren't in. That's on the to-do list. The clutch. Oh no, actually. So originally this was a almost fell over. So originally this was actually a cable clutch, but a 60A gearbox they're called, but I've actually managed to convert it to a hydraulic clutch using a 63A gearbox, which is a bigger version of the 60A 5-speed again, but it's slightly longer, much tougher gearbox. So that's got to go in the hydraulic clutch. It takes the same clutch assembly plate cover, but it needs a different. It uses a 24 spline clutch instead of a A15 spline clutch, so just trying to source one of those at the moment. What else is there in this car? So the A15 itself, there are some old extractors. Won't be using those. Old flywheel. There's a to-do list down there of stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff in my other car as well. But so went and repainted all the brake lines. Got new fittings for them. There's a bit to do. In terms of what's sitting under the rear, so I can show you the wheels at least. So these are actually some really cool wheels. So I'm running 15 by 6.5 inch wheels, front and rear. These are Hoshino Impul Pro Spokes. I found these on a local old school website. They tidy up really nice, and yeah, they're a super good look on the car when it's actually sitting on its wheels. It's just a bit, brakes haven't come back in, but the tyres I'm running are a bit hard to see, but they're Bridgestone Potenzas RE 003s, super grippy tyres. I might have one with a tread pattern on it, you guys can see. Yeah, so it's a tread pattern there, so those are pretty cool. The diff, so it runs a 4-link rear. The diff itself is an H165, which is considerably bigger than the H145 that it came with. It's probably a bit dark to see, but it's under there. I will be running an LSD in that. You can run E86 LSDs. That's down the road. At the moment it's just stock springs and the old shocks, because once the car's actually loaded up with weight, I'll be able to get some custom springs made. I'm running 5.5 kg springs in the front with some Celica front KYB gas shocks. So once we see how the front sits, how rough that rides, we'll look at doing the front. Engine wise, we're going to do a whole forged bottom end on the car. So we've got Wiseco MX5 pistons, which will take it out to 1.6 litre. H-beam conrods from B Projects, a whole lot of other goodies for the head, double valve springs, bigger camshaft, well, not bigger camshaft, sorry, but a reground camshaft, replacing the springs with collars on their rocker arm, new valves, new lifters, get the intake and exhaust valves fly cut and get them taken out a bit. What else? Oh, running electric fuel pump, bigger oil pump, oil cooler, that sort of stuff, pretty standard. The biggest thing is, actually, and what's sitting down here, is a SC14 Supercharger. It's kind of hard to see with all the rags there, but I'll be running that. The car's actually still going to be carbureted. We're running, I'll grab this, it's a Holly 6500 series carburetor, 2-barrel, so I'll just be running that straight on top, and yeah, it should be good. And the drums on the rear have been changed to 240Z finned alloy items, and I've got a 260Z 7/8 master cylinder as well. So yeah, so progress is steaming ahead. Engine's off being rebuilt at the moment. This will be going back. Had a fair amount of rust, wasn't too bad, but this whole section, both sides, running back to the wheels, has been replaced from rust. One of the doors had quite a bit. This is the worst. This is where the hatch goes. It was bogged up pretty bad, so we'll get all that rust taken out. Spare wheel well, which is always a prime target, and the back's not too bad, but you can see like those aren't bolt holes, those are rust holes, and it's a bit cancerous up there, so nothing we can't handle. So yeah, I thought it was about time I made something. I keep talking about this thing all the time, so in case you're wondering what that car is, it's my Flatmates Series 1 RX-7. This is borrowed standard stock. He's actually got some really nice 13-inch Chevy hot wires for it. That's one of the reconditioned ones there. Super wide. I think he's running a 7.5 inch. Stock was 5.5, I think. Unlocked. It's got a nice tartan seat cover pretty standard inside. It's pretty tidy. It's not too bad for, you know, an old Series 1. Dash needs a bit of work, but interior is always first to go on this. Really nice car though. Actually got a factory LSD for it. Changed the whole diff over to a factory LSD. Aircon's been taken out. It was the luxury version, had the aircon. That's been taken out prior to him owning it. He's changed the ignition over to MSC blaster coils, I think. Yeah, which makes it heaps more reliable. It is actually a 6-port rotor, not this factory engine. It's been changed over at some point. So he's got big plans for this, just like I've sort of started on mine. But yeah, it's pretty tidy. He's replaced all wheel bearings and brakes, and checked all the seals, and the rotaries are a bit of a nightmare. So it's yeah, and this runs a 4-link as well. It's actually quite cool. It's got offset towers, so you can change the camber of your wheels, front wheels, without actually having to, by just rotating the tower essentially. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little walk around. I'll try to keep you guys posted. Next big thing will be getting all the brake lines in, bleeding out the brakes, getting the front sitting back on, and getting the front guards and valances back on, and then it'll be off to the painters again, and getting the shell coated, that same white that's in the engine bay, and then getting the engine back and putting that in, getting the supercharger on, trying to get it road legal for summer. It's a bit of a mission, but we'll get there, I'm sure, hopefully, maybe. Money depending, of course. It's not cheap. I mean, if I had unlimited funds, I'd be doing a lot more with the motor, you know. Things like adjustable timing gears, and you know, adjustable hydraulic tensioners, and all sorts of lightweight goodies, carbon push rods, that sort of stuff. But you know, sort of got to work within your budget. The most of my money is sort of going on the forged bottom end. Pistons and con rods are pretty important. So, but yeah, keep you guys updated, let you know what's happening. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you want to see more of this. I'm blitzballaking. I'll catch you guys later.